So let's enjoy this evening practice and begin seated or lying down, wherever your body needs now. Depending on whether you've had a busy day, flying around, or whether you've had time to just sit and relax, just tune in. Your mind might be thinking one thing, but your body may be thinking another. You might need that rest. And just enjoying a few deep breaths. Checking in with any areas that are tight or tense. And just scanning through the body, relaxing head down to toes. So softening the face, neck and shoulders. Front and back of the body. All through the pelvis and legs. And thinking about what you might need from your practice this evening. Perhaps it's a lovely deep stretch. Or you might find that actually you'd more prefer to be quite observant of your mind and your thoughts. What will be your main focus, perhaps? Tuning in to grounding into the body. Take the energies down into the earth. And then just with a few more breaths, we're going to come up for Zazen, seated meditation. So just when you're ready, hug the knees in if you're lying down. And if you're already seated, you can just sort of gently flex and become comfortable. So coming up to seated. And we'll practice mindfulness of breath, where we do count. The 4 phases of this breath will be, first of all, we count the out breath, 1 to 10. And then we change the focus and we notice how it shifts and feels within. And we'll count the in breath, 1 to 10. And then we'll go through another phase where we just stop counting the breath completely. And then the last part is where we really try and hone in and focus on the sensation around the nostrils and around maybe the breath on the top of the lips. So those 4 phases. So first of all, count the out breath, 1 to 10, then the in breath, then we leave the breath, and then we just tune into how it feels. So we'll start my little timer, and it usually does take about 5 minutes, I think, to do this, which is quite a nice little sequence to go through because it does sort of end up being around that time. So we'll start this little timer. Just rest the hands to Dhyana Mudra. Take a breath, close the eyes. Relax everything to start with. And then we'll begin. So counting the out breath. Try and stay with the count. At the end of 10, just switch to the in breath. And after 10, just relax the count. And then just draw the awareness to the sensations you feel as you're breathing gently. Becoming mindful of your breath. Notice if your mind wanders. Just come back to the sensation. And when you're ready, just gently blinking your eyes open and returning back into our practice. Noticing how that felt, whether you feel really relaxed and you just stayed with the breath, whether the mind wandered off a lot. Every day we're going to feel different sometimes when we do this. So coming off your cushions, just slide them aside. Nice gentle practice this evening. We're going to start with a lovely butterfly pose. So just drawing your soles of the feet together. If you need cushions underneath your thighs for support, please use whatever you feel you need. And then we're just going to gently fold into this pose. And just starting to find the shape ever so gradually. Enjoying some deep breaths. And as we give this pose its time, we can relax into the neck and the shoulders. And loosen any tension in the calf muscles or the legs around the hips. And just noticing if you're pulling your arms or shoulders back, whether you can relax more. Noticing how you're feeling in this pose tonight. Great for liver, kidneys and gallbladder. Just thinking about what emotions may be coming up, what thoughts are going through the mind. If we do feel thoughts of or feelings of anger or fear, then this can be coming out through the liver and the kidney meridian. They're the negative attributes of these organs and channels of energy. There may be feelings of gentleness, which is the positive feeling within the kidneys, and wisdom. Kindness is linked with our liver. So as you breathe gently, just noticing the expansion in your back. Noticing if there's a certain part of the body that is really enjoying or needing this pose this evening. Notice if your breath feels gentle or shallow. Or you might bring the awareness to how the whole back opens up as you breathe deeply. And when we're ready, we're just going to take a lovely breath and lift up. And then just find our way into neutral pose. Lying down, enjoying this lovely rest. Take a deep inhale and maybe just sigh on the exhale. Feel all the breath leave the body. So often we can kind of half breathe and we don't ever fully inhale. We don't ever fully exhale all the sort of stagnant air out. So when we can be conscious, it's lovely to just really empty the lungs and fill the lungs. And when we breathe deeply like this, you may even notice that pause, what we call the internal and the external kumbhaka. So gently as those sensations fade from butterfly, we're going to bring the knees in and have a little hug. We're going to come into open wing, which is a pose using the arms. Because as we will come into autumn, which is linked with the lung and the large intestine, these meridians run through the arms, so it's quite nice to focus on these areas. So gently come up, and we're going to turn onto our belly. We're going to extend the left arm out to the side. So lying on your tummy, left arm just comes out level with your shoulder, and then we're going to just gently roll ourselves back towards that left arm. So you might want to bring your right knee over and support there, or take your right leg back and bring your left leg up. So whatever feels right within you to sort of support the body as we come onto our side and return towards that shoulder joint. Don't hurt yourself here. Always, if it's painful, come out. But if you can feel that nice sort of gentle stretch around the shoulder, that's what we're aiming for, a nice gentle stretch. Right arm can just support the body. Rest your head on the mat. And we'll just gently explore this pose. Maybe close your eyes. Notice how it feels to stretch through the arm and the shoulder here. Relaxing your hands. See if you can relax around your neck. Through the body. As we take our time here, it might start to kind of soften and ease. Perhaps relaxing the arm that we're not focused on as well. So your right shoulder, all the way down to the wrist. Notice your breath, notice your thoughts. Keep relaxing anywhere that you feel you can. And ever so gently we'll take a nice breath here. Lifting up your head and maybe just rolling onto the belly. Gently coming out of that pose. And then I'm going to roll onto my back just to come into neutral pose. How do you feel? Does it feel quite invigorating through your shoulder and arm? Is it the inner arm that you feel sensation or coolness, the chi moving? Enjoy some lovely deep breaths here. Enjoying being in your body. And just following the sensations, wherever you're feeling them, as they'll fade away gently. And then slowly we'll bring the knees in. We're going to come into the other side. So this will mean extending the right arm out to the side, rolling back in towards that right arm. So I'm just going to come the other side so that I'm still facing you. And we'll take about sort of 4 minutes or so into this pose like we did the other one. So extending right arm out, level with the shoulder. And then gently, in whatever way you can, just rolling back, rest the head on the mat. Either taking your top leg behind you or letting it rest in front with your knee, whatever. Have a moment just to have a fidget and feel what feels right. And then you can relax that left arm now. Try and soften your right hand that's extended out behind you. And just check in through the rest of your body. You might be tense a little bit through your legs or your buttocks and back. As long as you're feeling a nice stretch through your right shoulder and arm now. Notice if it feels a little bit different from one side to the other, if there's the same movement range that you get here. And then breathing to the belly. Relaxing as much as you can, wherever you can. Noticing any subtle differences between one shoulder and the other, and the arm. And we'll just take a couple more breaths. Gently lifting up out of this pose. Noticing how it initially feels through the arm. Just gently roll over onto your back. Feeling whatever sensations through the arm, whether they're very similar to the other side. It actually feels quite nice and alive. And that may sound strange, but lovely to stimulate these areas that we don't normally come into these shapes and bend our arms that way. So just enjoying some breath into the belly, the chest, just being conscious of your breath. Noticing how you're feeling, whether you're feeling quite content and peaceful this evening. Does your heart feel open? And then we're going to bring our knees into chest. So if you've got a bolster handy or a stack of cushions, then we're going to come into twisted deer, which is a really nice pose. So the body had a very sort of gentle twist when we did that open wing. If you notice, just a very slight sort of movement of the body. So we're just going to come into twisted deer. So if you have a yoga bolster, I'm going to start, because I've just brought the legs into this position, by bringing it to the left-hand side. So left shin comes to the front. The right leg is the one that swings around to the side of you. And then pulling the bolster into that left hip. We're going to just turn the body, bring belly to bolster, and then just coming down. This is a really nice pose, one of my favourite ones, especially for an evening practice. It's so gentle and nurturing, this twist, especially being supported on the bolster. And you can sort of move into it as much as you wish. Try and relax the head and the neck. There's a real tendency to keep supporting it with the muscles. See if you can relax. Softening all the muscles in your face as well. As you breathe, notice where the breath kind of twists in the body. And how does this feel tonight in your body? Can you isolate all the areas that move as you breathe? A really nice pose for your confidence and solar plexus energy. And whether you have digestive issues from time to time, or even if in life we have difficulty digesting something that's happening to us, somebody else's ideas or things that they've changed around you, then this pose can help with that. Keep relaxing, even if it's tension in your forearms and hands. And we'll take a lovely breath as we then come out, nice and slowly. Enjoy the movement as you come out of the poses just as much as being in them and into neutral. And as you move, if you just bring the bolster sort of more over to your right hand side, then that's ready for the next side. Relax back. Gently bring your mind to what you're feeling through your body, the right hand side, the ribs, the waist. A very subtle difference in the left side of the body. And then when you're ready, let's just draw knees in. Gentle rock. Lifting the head if you want to. And then as you roll up, we're going to come into the position where the right shin comes to the front. The left leg comes around the side. And just pulling your bolster into the right hip. And then as we turn the belly towards bolster, gently coming down. And relax. You can stretch your left leg behind you a little bit more if you want to. Just feel the lovely stretch on the hip flexor. Just rest the arms, rest the neck, head, and soften through your face. Sometimes we know we need to do these things. It's just so hard to remember. So just rotating your awareness all the way through the body, all the time. There's always something to relax. Soften the lower back and the buttocks if there's tightness there. And just knowing and feeling the nature of your breath. Keep relaxing the shoulders and upper arms. And enjoying where the breath flows in this side of the pose. Relaxing tension around your eyes, forehead. Check in around your jaw. Nice deep breaths. Feel the breath move into the side of your waist, into the chest and the back. And as always, just observe the mind. If the mind is busy, just acknowledge it without judgment. Just try and witness your thoughts. Having that distinction between whether your thoughts are thinking you or you are thinking your thoughts. And let's just take a few more deep breaths. And in your own time, gently coming up. Taking the bolster away, pop it to the side. And gently finding a nice neutral pose. Allowing the spine to just reset. Even though that twisted deer pose is so very gentle and supportive, you can still feel where you've had that ever so soft twist through the back. And as you lie here, just have some thoughts of gratitude for your body. I know most of the time we kind of moan about things and we're dissatisfied with something or other. But it's really, really nice now and then to just flip that narrative, as we all have, and just have some appreciation and some real gratitude for what we can do with our body, that we can move into these shapes. see, smell, hear, breathe. All the simple things. And just take some lovely breaths into your belly. Be conscious of breathing deeply into the triangle that we make with our hips and our navel. Just try and direct the breath here. Lovely kind of balloon that fills the belly, moving into the chest, and a slow exhale. So very, very calming. And then gently we will draw our knees in. The last pose we're going to come into is, I'll give you a choice. So either bench or heart bench. So just have a think about whether you need to be soft this evening and just lie over the pillow. So bench is where we have the pillow behind us, just a little bit away from the body, and we simply lie back. And I will show you the choice of heart bench. I know many of you know these poses, but just sort of seeing the shape of them, you might think, oh, actually, I feel like my body might need that. So one block on the top level, this block behind the heart on the second level. I'm going to go with this one this evening. But whatever you choose, if you feel like you just want to change, it doesn't feel quite right, and you thought that you might want that feeling, but actually want something else, then please, by all means, alter this. Sometimes I feel like I just need that little bit more of a hardness behind the back to let everything sort of fall to the sides. Other times, just having that cushion there in bench is all I need. It needs to be more nurturing and supportive. So listen to what your body, what your soul needs. And if you want to, partway through, please change it. So relaxing the legs. Just let them rotate outwards. The feet will fall to the side. And relaxing the lumbar spine and lower back. Allow the arms just to fall wherever they want to. And as long as you feel supported with the head and the neck, just let everything else relax. And in either of these poses, you have the opportunity to enjoy the breath into the belly, feeling the rise and fall. How do you feel this evening in this pose? What thoughts come up for you? What feelings arise from those thoughts? And really gently now, let's just take maybe 2 more breaths. Let's have 2 conscious breaths. And whichever pose you've taken, either heart bench or bench, we're going to slowly lift the head, raise the body, and then either cushion or blocks, move them to the side, and with as little movement as possible, just come down. Just try and savor that feeling in the body. Come onto the mat. What relief do you feel? And just taking the opportunity to breathe into the belly. And then when you're ready, just hug the knees in. We're going to come into relaxation now. So have a moment to decide whether you want to sit or lie down. If you need blankets, cushions, eye pillows. Just noticing what you might need this evening. So relaxing in whatever way you've chosen. Gently close your eyes and scan through as you relax from head to toe what you're feeling now as opposed to how you felt at the beginning of your practice. Whether anything has shifted in an emotional way or a mental way or physically. It's always nice to be curious of how your practice changes you just in that hour. I'd like you to imagine that you've taken yourself off and it's a dark night, and by the light of a full moon, you've walked down to a lovely, soft beach. You're just starting to walk over the sort of the sand dunes where there's grassiness on either side, and maybe sort of little fences made out of really little pieces of wood and wire as it just guides you down between the grasses to the beach. And you can see where you're going because the bright full moon can light your way. And in your mind, you know this place. You're just wandering down a gentle, soft path. And you can't see the water, but you can hear the waves coming in. And just take a little place that you find to sit down or lie down, perhaps surrounded by some sand dunes where the grasses keep you a little sheltered. The night is a clear sky and there are so many stars, some bright, some a little dim, some bigger than others, even though they're so far away. And that full moon is just such a draw to you. Perhaps close your eyes and just listen to the crashing waves on the shore and allow that to just sort of mesmerize you. Tune into this beautiful lunar feminine energy that is linked with the moon and water and coolness, the cold. And just nurturing yourself. Just gently see if you can still see the image of a moonlit and starlit night at the beach. Just you, listening to the crashing of the waves, feeling safe and secure, and just creating that lovely mental image of time to yourself, being alone in nature. It's lovely to try and really create these images in our mind, and we can go there and see them again whenever we need to. So take a deep breath, sigh on the exhale, and when you're ready you can just start to move fingers and toes gently, and just taking it nice and slowly, keeping the yin energy with you for the rest of the evening. Purposely moving slowly, breathing in a nice slow rhythm. And gently, when you're ready, you can just slowly hug the knees in and stretch in whatever way feels right. Having another moment of gratitude for your body and where you are and who you are. So powerful, and we do forget these. So rolling up to seated in your own time. Take another deep breath and another sigh on the exhale, just rooting down again, and then drawing your hands to your heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.